welcome to all the classic car enthusiasts. Just give you another little update. No mini stuff, I'm afraid. If you bear with us, we will be working on the both of them soon. Give you a little update on what we've been doing on the two XKs, and this is for tomorrow. This XJ6, we're getting the diff back about 8 o'clock in the morning, and we've got everything prepared, ready to go. So I have a video on this on the Jaguar 66, and I think it's Jaguar E-Type IRS or brakes, and it shows everything here. But I just wanted to show you this little tip that I didn't put in it. This is 3 years ago, I guess it was, I did it. But there's a little tip here. When you go to put these on, when you go to put them on the IRS, you can't bolt these up fully, the disc. This disc is actually in the wrong way around, but it doesn't matter. This is the right hand caliper as you look, as you look at it from the front, yeah, this is the right hand caliper. And the problem is you have to put the discs on because the drive flange goes onto it here. So you have to put them in and then set all this up and then take the bolts out to put the drive flange on. So you have to use washers and spacers. But I'll pick the camera up and I'll show you basically what I'm doing. There's actually, in here there's an adjusting nut which I've showed you before. And the problem is if you get it too tight, you put it on, you can't get it onto the disc very well with the pads sorted out like that. So the easiest way to do it, before you put this split pin goes in there across that screw head, which I'll show you now, and you can adjust it here. So you can see there's very little movement, it's too tight, so what it'll do is it'll drag. So I can adjust it. I'll bring this thing forward. So I can adjust it there, you can see that screw, I'll show it to you. And I can open it up a little bit. Obviously it's not attached to the so now I can get some movement. You want it so it's not dragging, so there is movement there, and there's enough movement to get it to click. And obviously you want to be able to get it on and off easily. And one back, and I can see I can move that arm quite well and it's braking. And then all you have to do then is line this screw up, which I'll show you now, and then put your split pin in. I'll get the split pin in. I'll just show you with it in so you can see it. So I'll pick up the camera and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So you can see there, this is the screw I'm talking about. So if you take this out, you can just adjust this rod. Obviously what you're doing there is you're leaving the adjustment nut stationary and you're screwing this rod backwards and forwards so that you get the perfect, I'll put this light up again, so you get the perfect when you're braking there. See it? And then obviously as it wears, what will happen is this tends to be straighter than this one. This is the one that always tends to wear. You can just see on the top there just how much of a gap there is on that top bit. And what happens is this tends to chamfer off. Anyway, so they're ready to go. All the bits for the IRS are here. They're done. It's sat on the table waiting. We're just waiting for the diff basically. And this is all the new. This is the rubber rings I was talking to you about. So you have this thrust washer in the centre, this rubber ring, and they call this an oil ring, which it's not. And this is the bearing. They go like that, and then the whole thing sits on the top of another thrust washer there. You can see, obviously greased up, and then your inner fulcrum shafts go through. There's 2 on either side, so there's 8 in total. Yeah, so we'll be doing that tomorrow. I'll do a little video in the morning and then one later on. These are the fulcrum shafts, and as you can see there's the spacer, what they call the spacer tube here. What you should do with this when you put the diff in is put it in and make sure everything lines up before you try to put the lower the fulcrum shafts through the actual arms here, because it's a very, very tight fit, and you should make sure that the bracket on the diff is actually in line, and if it's not, one of the little tips I gave at the time was you can use a G clamp or a woodwork vise, you know, the long extension woodwork vise, and you can pull it in, because what happens is this cage tends to open up a little bit, so that's another way of getting it in, but you shouldn't be smacking on it too hard. Yeah, as far as the car's concerned, there was a hole in the back which we've now repaired, put a new piece in it. This side, as you can see, is completely rotten, has to be repaired, and this is him starting to repair this side now. So we're coming down here now and going through all this stuff. So unfortunately what we have to do is we have to put captive nuts in this. So we have to make sure the position is absolutely spot on, because when the top's on you can't see it. Also he's just fettled in this. There was a huge hole here, and now this is a hole for the brackets, as you can see. For the plinth, there's a plinth that goes on the front here. So he's completely rebuilt all this. This was rotten all the way down, so he's built a new one. This is the not finished, but nearly getting there. And we've tried it on the jig and it works perfect. And as you can see, hopefully you can see, that fits right on there. And this is why they made these recesses in here, which you can see, so that when you weld this, you've got all this valley to lead load. So we have to make a new piece underneath it. And also we'll be replacing this. I'm not happy with that. And I didn't have the English wheel at the time, so I'm going to cut this back out and build a new one. And there's one done on the English wheel. And you can see the shape. It was really nice. It's just been, this was the original piece. See how bad that is. And they all seem to be the same way as the original light pod. It's a bit of a mess. So there's the new one, and there's the new filleted in piece. So now what we'll do is go down and weld it and do it on the inside as well. But you can see how nice the shape on that is. It's a good shape. And without the English wheel, that would be difficult to get that two shapes at the same time. Which is what will happen when you've got a metal to metal on an English wheel. You'll get long ways shaping and sideways shaping, not so much, but more front and back depending on the amount of rolling action you get. But you do get some of this, and the way to stop that is to put a rubber on the top wheel and just leave the anvil open, and that will stop this sideways movement. The sheet will be completely flat, but you will get the dip in and out that way. So I need to find something now. I've tried a wheelbarrow inner tube, but unfortunately it wasn't flat enough, and it had where it was vulcanized, it was kind of jumping, so I'll find something for it. But anyway, so that's it. So tomorrow it'll be go for it with this XJ6, because I really need my ramp back for my E-Type. I want to get it serviced for the summer, and it's been sat on there about 4 weeks. So, but this is the trouble when you help people out. I mean, the guy's a neighbour and a friend, and he's a very, very nice guy, and I want to help him out and get it done. But it's actually having the back end of it's made it completely static here, and of course it's causing me no end of trouble because I can't use the ramp or the space for that matter. Anyway, everything's ready. Hopefully he'll come at 8 o'clock in the morning with the diff. We put it all back together. I reckon a couple of hours, 2 or 3 hours, we can get it back together and probably get it back in. I would say 6 hours we can do it in, give or take. Anyway, so thanks for watching in. Hope there's some interest to somebody there, and sorry to the Mini guys, but stick with me. I will be doing it. We've got a lot of work to do on the Mini, and oh, the last thing was that I put from Austria, and this is this scrap bit that Brian wanted, and I take it it was a pizza pack. He must have had a pizza. Alright, anyway, take care. Thanks for watching in, and I'll catch you over the weekend. Bye for now. Bye.